Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hi, I'm the Madam Speaker. So the two teams that we'll be having today for this notion will be the team for this notion called Lead and the team against this notion, Women Warriors. All right. First, team lead, you can take the floor now.
Hi, yes. Good evening, Madam Chair, honorable members and colleagues. Today, the affirmative team will be arguing for the statement, men make better leaders than women. Did you know that 24% of senior leadership positions are occupied by women, while women account for 47% of the workforce? What's more alarming is that 4.9% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women. Why is that? As simply put as possible, men make better leaders than women. In a study published by Gallup Polls, conducted annually since 1953, with a random sample size of 1,032 adults aged 18 and older, shows that 33% of respondents prefer a male boss, 20% preferred a female boss, and 46% had no preference in the gender of their boss. This shows a preference towards men as leaders. And while we must go through the entire process of this parliamentary debate, our numbers already prove that men are better leaders than women. While the textbook and members on the opposite side may try to argue that leaders are made, not born, we are not opposing that. Matter of fact, our points validate that leaders are both born and made, yet still support our position as the affirmative team. Our arguments would actually be looking at the societal pressures and expectations that contribute to making men better leaders than women. Our team will also argue that the innate characteristics and dispositions of the genders lead towards a bias in favor of men over women as leaders. Furthermore, between 2017 and 2018, Compensation, Culture and Monitoring site comparably did a study titled Best CEOs for Women. It documented that those within the top 25 part of the list were all men, a list by women. This tells us that even women believe that men are better leaders than women. Even the United Nations shows that of its 193 member states, less than 10% are led by women. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, so is there any other input that you must make?
With regards to the intro, no, but I must state that Minister JT, who was supposed to be presenting next, will not be present. So I would like the chair to recognize that I would be doing her part.
The chair has noted this, thank you. We will go into a brief intermission. All right, intermission is over. Team Women's Warriors, you're next.
Good evening, everyone.
Madam Speaker, I am Lena, representing for Team Women Warriors. We do not agree with the statement, men make better leaders than women for a number of reasons. Firstly, the Americans see men and women as equally capable when it comes to some of the key qualities and behaviors that are essential for leadership. However, research has shown that women were rated as excelling in taking initiative, acting with resilience, practicing self development, driving for results, and displaying high integrity and honesty. In fact, women were thought to be more effective in 84% of the competencies that are most frequently used to measure leadership skills. However, over the centuries, there have been cultural biases against women in leadership positions, resulting in an unconscious bias which contributed to the lower number of women in key positions. Long ago, we believed that women's role was to stay at home and take care of the household, and men were expected to go to work as the primary breadwinner. Now, women are no longer living the traditional life. Women are now educating themselves and becoming bolder in the workplace, and even more so in leadership positions. Gender should not be a factor whether or not a person can be a great leader. A person's leadership ability should depend on their individual strength and personality traits. Therefore, women are now equipping themselves with the skills, knowledge, abilities to challenge men in leadership positions by being more effective and efficient. Research has shown that there are more women enrolling and graduating from tertiary institutions than men. As a matter of fact, a survey done on leadership traits proved that women score higher than men in being honest, intelligent, compassionate, outgoing, and creative. The survey also stated that men and women were equally ambitious and hardworking. With this being said, in many parts of the world, women are slowly being recognized for the ability to lead and hold positions in firms. Behind some of the world's most recognized brands today are a collective of CEOs who you might not have heard of. The obvious fact is that they are all women, but more than that, they've also proven to be business industry that they have what it takes to win as a driving force in their respective fields. For example, we have Susan Wojcicki, who is the CEO of YouTube. Marilyn Hewson is the current chairman and former president and chief executive officer of the aerospace and defense manufacturing company called Lockheed Martin. They contract to America's most high profile organizations such as the CIA, the FBI, the IRS, NSA, and the Pentagon. We also have Maggie Timoni, who is the first woman to serve as a CEO of a major beer company in America, Heineken USA. We have women dominating and holding high position in fields of automotive, weaponry, the internet, the hotel industry, the beer industry, and many more. This is just to name a few. Before I end, I would like to leave you with a quote from Sarah Atman. Women make great leaders because the odds are against us to lead. When you're the underdog, it takes an extra push to get to the top. That's why the women who emerge on top are extraordinarily strong and capable. We fight to get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any more statements that need to be made?
No, Madam Speaker.
All right. So we will take another short intermission. All right, the intermission is over. For the first rebuttal, team lead, please note you have an additional 3 minutes and 3 seconds from the main speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, the honorable member spent more time proving that women can be leaders and CEOs, but that's not what we're here debating this evening. So, allow me to bring us back on track. The traits and characteristics that we typically associate with effective leadership endorses stereotypically masculine attributes such as assertiveness and ambition. Because masculine stereotypes align with leadership stereotypes, a man is more likely than a woman to be assessed as a potential and competent leader. Feminine stereotypes, in contrast, negatively interact with leadership schemes. Ideas of what it means to be female, Madam Chair, do not fit our ideas of what it means to be leader. This disconnect often manifests as an unconscious preference for male leaders. It contributes to the glass ceiling faced by women in their professional careers. Leadership theory prescribes that for women to emerge as a leader, they must display the traits commonly associated with effective leadership, including assertiveness and confidence. However, when women behave assertively, they suffer consequences that men don't typically experience. Gender stereotypes are beliefs about the appropriate roles and normative behaviors for men and women in a society. Although gender stereotypes vary across cultures, they typically prescribe for men to be dominant, competitive, and assertive, and for women to be submissive, warm, and nurturing. Gender backlash is a form of stereotype bias in which women or men who breach gender norms suffer negative social or economic reprisals. Consider the assertiveness penalty facing women aspiring to leadership. Studies show that when women exhibit stereotypically masculine traits commonly associated with leadership, such as assertiveness, they are less liked when compared with men exhibiting the same traits. In a 2008 study published in the Psychological Science, Madam Chair, men received a boost in their perceived status after expressing anger. In contrast, women who expressed anger were consistently accorded lower status and lower wages and were seen as less competent. Another study showed women's perceived deserved compensation dropped by 35%, twice as much as men's drop when equally aggressive in workplace communication. Because likability can be an even more important factor than competence for getting hired, women who breach gender stereotypes definitely jeopardize their career prospects. Assertiveness backlash places women in a tenuous position. On one hand, to emerge as a leader, women must adopt traits consistent with leadership stereotypes, that is, act more stereotypically masculine. But when women do act more assertively, they breach feminine stereotypes, such as a likability penalty, that in turn limits their professional success. Not only do women need to work harder to be assessed at the same level of competence as men, they also need to work differently, treading a fine line between masculinity and femininity, asking for promotion, offering unsolicited opinions, challenging the status quo, negotiating for a raise, or speaking up about concerns may help a male employee get ahead, but a female employee could easily end up labeled as bossy or worse for the exact same behavior, Madam Chair. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Do you have any more statements that need to be said?
Not at this point, but I would also like to just send some friendly advice to the opposing side. I hope that you all took notes. Maybe when we proceed, you all can catch up. Okay?
Very well.
Honorable Madam Speaker,
Yes.
this is Lena representing Female Warriors. The
Yes.
honorable member said that I focus mostly on women being CEOs and women placed in leadership position. Apparently, he missed the earlier notions where I mentioned women are leading in the most frequently competencies used to measure leadership skills and the qualities they possess excel in men. Thank you.
Very well. We'll have a short
Madam
intermission.
Chair, Madam Chair, if I may.
Um, we have to go into intermission. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, intermission is over. Now we go on to the rebuttal of four women warriors. Please remember to, when you address me or if you wish to speak, please remember to ask permission. Thank you. As well
Hi, good
as
night.
women, my apologies.
Oh, sorry.
Madam, women warriors, we also have an additional 1 minute and 16 seconds for your rebuttal. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, good night, everyone. So I'll be doing the first rebuttal on Woman Warriors. I am Wonder Woman. Okay. This ongoing debate of who is better, a man or woman, has always been going on and on since in the beginning of time. Women have always had better managerial abilities and certain specific abilities that are just gifted to women. Women handle crises better and is more open-minded to change and adapt to situations quicker. Most importantly, women deal with emotions better while men have a phobia when it comes to emotions. Women can easily take charge of situations where employees lack the zeal to work and energize them up, fill them up with confidence and motivate them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There are also studies showing countries led by women during the COVID pandemic have performed better, especially in terms of deaths. And this is true because we find that female-led countries locked down significantly earlier than male-led countries. Female-led countries like New Zealand and Germany locked down much more quickly and decisively than male-led ones, like the UK and US. On average, they had 22 deaths fewer at lockdown when compared to their male counterparts. Also to be found in the leadership style of men and women, studies suggest that men are likely to lead a task-oriented style and women in an interpersonally oriented manner. Women therefore tend to adopt a more democratic and participative style and tend to have better communication skills. For most people, one of the most important persons in your life is your mother, and they are trained caretakers and know how to deal with crisis situations at home with compassion and patience. These attributes become very relevant when a woman leader is dealing with crisis situations. And now I will lead you to Onella to continue the rebuttal.
Hi, good night. My name is Onala, and I will be doing the second part of the rebuttal. Women leaders try to make the environment feel
Please remember
comfortable.
to address me. Thank you.
Sorry, Madam Speaker. I will be doing the second rebuttal, if you don't mind.
Hold on. We still have to do the intermission before second rebuttal. Thank you.
I mean, the first rebuttal is just the second part of the
Yeah, she's in
rebuttal.
a continuation of it.
Yeah, continuation, yeah.
Please remember that you also have to ask permission to talk. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Very well.
For the second time.
Women leaders are more trustworthy than men. They make the environment feel more comfortable and inviting. Their communication skills are clear, which they use to analyze the situation and have a flow of ideas that will help their team members or followers trust them more. Having a leader that listens to others, keep their promises, helps others be confident in themselves, and give credit where it is due would make it easier to commit to their goals and be willing to adjust to new visions. Women have more patience and know how to handle stress better than men. Some of them learn from previous experiences, such as staying calm when a client or customer is yelling at them, living in a big family, or from raising children. They know some decisions can be made fast. There need to be a little breather to come up with the best possible decision that would benefit everyone. Stress can sometimes have a bad effect on the way you handle certain decisions. If you have multiple tasks and projects, don't just rush in to do it. Think and plan out what you have to do so you won't make a mistake. Some men, some of the men mostly does rush into things before they think about what they are doing. Thank you.
Very well. Any more? Very well. Any more statements needed?
And no, Madam Speaker.
Very well. We will go into another short intermission. That's the end of the next intermission. Now we'll start with the second rebuttal. Team lead.
Good night, Madam. Good night, Madam Speaker. Minister J from Team Lead here. I am here to do the second rebuttal and the conclusion. So, we understand from this debate that women are better suited for leadership positions. But according to leaning.org, every 1 in 3 girls are afraid to lead. If we look at the participation just in our class, in this class that we are doing right now, we see more male students asking questions and interacting much more than female. They are bold and confident when asking questions or presenting. You see, even though some women are told they are good leaders and demonstrate better leadership skills than men, such as hardworking, ambitious, outgoing, to name a few. From a young age, their perception on who are leaders are heavily gender-based. This stereotype affects women's performance, causing doubt in their ability to be successful leaders. Do you know that women make sure to have 100% qualifications before applying for a job, whereas men apply with only 50%? No wonder why women are graduating and enrolling into colleges more than men, because they don't see the need to have all the qualifications for a job. There's a term called leader efficacy, which relates to one's belief in the likelihood that they will be successful in engaging in leadership. It is associated with the level of confidence in the knowledge, skills, and ability associated with leading others. Not to be mixed up with the confidence in the knowledge and skills and ability that you actually possess. An effective leader needs to roll up their sleeve and take charge. This includes being confident enough to lead, knowing that your plan and vision are not only viable for the team, but is the absolute best decision possible. If you lack confidence in a leadership role, people will spot that quickly. No wonder why even women think that men are better leaders. The more that you believe in yourself, the more you will be able to manage any stressful situation without becoming overwhelmed. True leaders are the ones that do not just talk about problems but come up with their own solutions fearlessly. Now, when it comes to honesty, intelligence, and a handful of other character traits, valued highly in leadership, the public rates women superior to men. And even though And even though women have the ability to be better leaders than men, women hesitancy to lean into leadership roles due to the lack of confidence to lead, due to the patriarchy standards, will continue to be their downfall. If women themselves do not believe that they are better leaders, why should we? Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Any more statements need to be made?
That's it for me, Madam
All
Chairman.
right. We shall go into our final intermission. All right, intermission is over. So we'll go on to the last second rebuttal. Women warriors.
Good night, Madam Speaker. I am Adira and I will be doing the conclusion for my team, Female Warriors. Women are afraid to lead because of the influence society have on them. This does not prove that men make better leaders than women. It only proves that men have the upper hand over women because of gender inequality. In conclusion, it is proven that all countries and organizations run by women strive better, quicker, and is more peaceful than when run by men. Women are naturally great leaders and a sure blessing to society. With women being even as equal with men in society, crime is lessened, management is made easier, stress becomes something you can work through rather than something overwhelming. Everyone becomes involved in decision making. Ego is at its minimum. Participation and communication is key. Problem solving becomes simpler and environments become lighter and more peaceful. Forgiveness after mistakes are met easier and with more compassion. Regarding the household, children will quicker go to their moms with problems because the father lacks patience and is quick to discipline them before exploring the issue. In schools or organization, it strikes less fear in the hearts of students and employees when there is a female boss. We can all also agree that it is more comfortable and relaxing mentally and emotionally when there is a female in charge, whether they are a teacher, a doctor, or even running a country. Women deserve to be supported more for leadership roles instead of looked over and ignored simply because of their stereotypes and gender. Finally, we stand firmly with our decision to be against the statement men make better leaders than women because we believe that both men and women make equally good leaders. Unfortunately, the unconscious bias that women don't belong in senior level positions plays a big role in society when it comes to women working to be in leadership position. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
All right. For the last time, is there any other statements that needs to be made? Speaker?
No, Madam Speaker.
Very well. This will be the end of our debate. We shall break off into our groups and we shall be back after 8 minutes. Thank you.